Fortunately, Zhou Hezai's sharp voice pulled me back to reality. Su Yi. His expression was like ice. I'm here to tell you you can clock out now. I nodded, quickly seizing the moment to put some distance between myself and Suger, preparing to grab my bag and leave. But Zhou Hezai walked straight toward him. I froze, heart pounding, and instinctively stepped back. Zhou Hezai's gaze was level, stern without anger, commanding without effort. I strive for success not just for myself, but so others will no longer be deceived by people like you. Before the second experiment began, I already had a bad feeling. Though the team had upgraded to H18, our confidence in it was far from solid. That day, Zhou Hezai and Suger stood opposite each other like blades drawn in spark, and it would ignite. Suger was the first to release his pheromone. Though Zhou Hezai endured the overwhelming discomfort, fortunately, his sensory metrics stayed within the safety threshold. But Suger, provoked, escalated. He grabbed Zhou Hezai's nape and sank his teeth into his gland. In an instant, Zhou Hezai's pupils froze, his body drained of all strength, collapsing inch by inch, until he finally knelt at Suger's feet. Outside the observation chamber, everyone at Mega A was stunned. Suger looked down from above, voice sharp and cold. All things are governed by nature, linked in chains. Even a mighty elephant will one day be devoured by ants. Scorn us, yet bow before us. This is the fate of an alpha under an omega's command. Then Zhou Hezai disappeared. A man who hadn't taken a day off in years, now missing for 5 days, no messages, no contact. I bit the bullet and knocked on the Zhou family's door for the first time. Their mansion sat halfway up a mountain, towering stone walls, classic carvings, every detail exuding elegance and grandeur. Past the main hall was a long corridor, its walls unlike the rest. Instead of art, they bore portraits of Zhou family heads through the generations, hung so high that walking beneath them felt like being judged. At the end of the hallway, the butler opened a door. Young master is in the garden. But garden was an understatement. It was a dense, sprawling mini-forest. Sunlight streamed through the leaves, butterflies danced lazily past. It was strangely mesmerizing. Suddenly, the soft rustle of leaves behind me, I turned to see a white lioness staring directly at me. I shrieked and collapsed to the ground in terror. The lioness approached, paw lifted, step by step. I scrambled backward on my palms, heart racing. Don't be afraid. Zhou Hezai appeared from somewhere in the shadows, calmly signaling me to stay still. The lioness paused in front of me, sniffed, then gently rubbed her face against my shoulder. Zhou Hezai smiled. She likes you. He sat beside her casually, petting her mane, while I remained frozen in place, barely breathing. We've raised jaguars here, wolves, eagles, even Komodo dragons, he said lightly. In our family, we're taught from childhood to live among apex predators and learn from them. My thoughts reeled. No wonder he turned out like this, refined, but utterly ruthless. You know what they all have in common? I nearly said, vicious, but held my tongue and shook my head. Willpower, he answered. Stronger than strength, faster than speed, sharper than strategy in every life and death struggle, it's always willpower that carries them through. He turned to me. I know why you're here. But don't worry, I won't break. Maybe Suger is right. Maybe all I've done will turn out to be in vain. But until the very last moment, I will never give up. Our eyes met, and for the first time, I truly saw Zhou Hezai. The sunlight framed his face in golden shadow, proud, poised, unwavering. As a 100% beta, I've never cared about AO distinctions. But at that moment, I suddenly felt. If the world insists on S ranks, then he is exactly what that should look like. His resolve reignited. Zhou Hezai decided to start from scratch. All our previous research focused on lowering sensitivity to pheromones, but he now believed we'd overlooked something critical. To find the root cause, we needed a full physiological profile of Suger. The tests lasted an entire day. Though Suger looked slightly drained, he was surprisingly cooperative. The final step was glandular cell extraction. To my surprise, he requested that I do it. Thinking he was just nervous, I reassured him. It's like a tiny prick, might feel cold, but it'll be quick. But as Suger removed his shirt, the words died in my throat. Around his gland, his lower back was covered in scars, raised, ragged lines crawling over his otherwise flawless skin. What happened? I whispered. It was a long time ago, before my secondary gender developed fully. A delicate, pretty Omega boy. Situations like that were hard to avoid. He saw the shock on my face and smiled faintly. Don't worry, it doesn't hurt anymore. His tone was casual, detached, but my heart ached. Not wanting to pry, I kept my head down, pretending to adjust the machine. But my tears betrayed me, falling freely. Are you crying for me? Sujir gently lifted my face. His expression was oddly surprised, even moved. All my life, he said softly, I've gotten used to people lusting after me, admiring me, envying me, hating me. But, to be pitied? That's a first. Then he leaned in and gently kissed the tears from my cheek.